This is Kimber Shafer with Rage in the Cage OKC, and we're here at the Western Avenue Boxing Gym. And we're so grateful they were able to sponsor these pre-fight interviews for Rage in the Cage 26, happening this weekend, March 22nd, 2014, at the Chameleon Room at 3034 North Portland in Oklahoma City. This is shaping up to be an awesome night of fights. 17 fights scheduled, and you can still get tickets at ticketstorm.com, at any Party Galaxy location, at Charlie's Bar in Choctaw, or from one of the fighters. We are looking forward to this night, and we hope that you'll be there.
Be there!
Hey everyone, I'm Kimber Shafer with Rage in the Cage OKC, and we are getting ready for Rage in the Cage 26 happening this coming Saturday, March 22nd. And I am here tonight for our pre-fight interviews, our co-main event, Dee Birchfield versus Justin Christie. And right now I've got Dee Birchfield here with me. And Dee, you are coming off of a massive injury, 2.5 years that you've been out, and this is your comeback fight. How does that feel?
It feels all too bittersweet. I paid a lot of dues, I endured a lot of pain, a lot of struggles, and it's a blessing from the Lord, honestly, to be here right now and to be fighting for Rage in the Cage, to have this opportunity. I'm going to run with it, and I'm gonna make the best of it.
Well, tell us a little bit about your injuries. How significant were they?
I had a bunch of joint damage. Both my shoulders had to be rebuilt, both my knees. A lot of people said I was done, I'd never be back, and I'm here to prove them wrong. God is great. The devil's a liar.
Well, that's awesome. In this fight, you're going against Justin Christie, and as we said, you and he both have a friend in common in Lamont K.O. Kid Stafford. And you seem to have a lot of respect for one another. Is it tough to go up against an opponent that you have a lot of respect for, or is it easier to go up against somebody that you have animosity for, or is it a fight just a fight?
No one's safe. Once you get in that cage, you're in there, and I'm not playing with you. It's no game to me. This is my life, and I take it very passionate. So it doesn't matter. I have respect for every fighter, every gladiator that gets in the cage, and it's the hardest job in the world. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of science, a lot of training, a lot of stuff that people think it's easy when you see it, but it's not. And when you get in that cage, you got to go for what you came to do, respect or not. So that's what it's about.
And in all actuality, you were actually scheduled to fight for the Josh Kidd benefit, the firefighter that was killed not too long ago. How devastating were you to find out that fight did get canceled, and just very sad news for you, I'm sure.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it did break my heart. I didn't know Josh Kidd, but from what I heard and studied on him and the struggles he had endured in life with battling Parkinson's and still being a firefighter, putting his life on the line every day for ordinary people like us. And so I was really honored and excited about putting on that event, that charity event, and helping his family left behind, his fiance, his son. And so when that got canceled, we got a call from Rage in the Cage, and it was like, a godsend that they were recognizing the tickets that we had sold for the Josh Kidd fight into this show. And the proceeds of those tickets go to that family. So that right there says why I'm fighting for Rage in the Cage, because that's something not everybody does anymore. So it's truly a blessing, and rest in peace, Josh Kidd, that's somebody that I consider a hero. So.
Oh, that's great. And that's something I do want to say about you is, I have tons of respect for your fighting abilities and your career in the cage and even in your personal life. But I have to say, and this may be taboo to say in a pre-fight interview, but the thing I admire most about you is you're a man of God. You are a man of faith. And how has that shaped your life so far, and how does that shape your fighting career?
I love the Lord. He saved my life. If it wasn't for God and Jesus, I wouldn't be here today. I live every day for the Lord, and it's a struggle. It's hard, It's something you have to choose to do, and you have to walk that walk. I give all the praise and glory to Him. It's not about me. There's nothing great about me. Me having this comeback fight is glory to Him, to show that he can do something with somebody that's broken down. He can rebuild that person both physically, mentally, spiritually. And so that's a big part of my walk. That's a big part of what I believe in and what I do.
Long term, what is it you want to do with your MMA career?
I want to make the best out of it. I want to fight until I can no longer fight anymore. I interact with children right now and help coach and give back, but I'm going to take this the second opportunity, and I'm going to make the best of it. This is what the Lord has in place for me. So,
do you see yourself eventually on the big stage, like at UFC or Bellator, or are you pretty happy local, and as long as you're changing lives here, you're good with that? Amen.
I'm not fighting for a UFC contract. I'm not fighting for fame or a title. I love fighting locally and staying home, and wherever it leads me, I'll go. But I'm happy to be where I'm at. So.
Well, that's great. Is there anything else that you want your fans to know, or the people that are coming to Rage in the Cage this week to know about D?
Yeah. You guys that remember me knocking people's knees out in 08, come watch it again because I'm buckling knees this year. Keep your head on a swivel.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dee. It was a pleasure, meeting you and following your career this past few months that I've been in touch with you, and I really appreciate it, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless. All right, guys, I am here with Justin Christie, who is going up against Dee Birchfield. And Justin, just like Dee, you are coming back from a massive injury. In fact, your injury was pretty severe and nearly life-threatening. So tell us about your comeback.
Well, honestly, I just put a lot of hard work into just rehabbing, had a lot of soul searching to do. I almost died from mine. When the doctor straight up told me, you keep walking around, you're going to be dead. So I had some life choices to change up on me. I did that. I became a lot more personable. I made a lot more friends and things like that as well. Taking life a little bit less seriously because nobody's really going to make it out alive anyway. But I don't know. It's going to be fun. I'm going to just come in and have a good time. This is my way of saying I beat this, and it's going to happen, win or lose.
And you took this fight very last minute. You knew you were ready to come back, but you hadn't been training. So you have to be a little bit nervous going into this fight, knowing you've not put the time in.
Yeah, I'm about as nervous as a badger in a dog kennel. But I'm tell you what, it's going to be an honor to fight Dee Birchfield. He's an excellent human being. He's a man of God. He's coming back from an injury himself. So, that hits home right here. I fully understand. I've got a lot of respect for the man. And like I said, it's going to be a true honor. He's a beast. If y'all haven't seen him, look him up. He is definitely a beast. And he's probably going to hit me really hard. And there will be blood, most likely mine, but we're going to have a good fight.
I can see you've got great humor, so it's definitely going to be a fun interview. Now, the one thing that I do know is true, that when you first started your MMA career, you did live in Tennessee where MMA fighting was illegal. So you spent many, many years at MMA fights in other states to where you were never the hometown boy and you were booed quite a bit. How is it going to feel to finally be able to fight in the state that you're living in and be the hometown boy for once?
It'll be fun. It'll be definitely a great honor to be able to fight in front of friends and family. I've got to fight in front of my dad and my grandparents before, where they had to travel to go do that as well. In Tennessee, luckily, as soon as I moved to Oklahoma, about a month later, they legalized MMA. So just one of those just happened, but a little too late. Yeah, but it's gonna be pretty fun to be able to fight in front of people that I actually know, and I won't be booed simply because, hey, there's that guy from Nashville and we're in Folsom, Louisiana. I'm gonna be, hey, this is that guy from Choctaw, Oklahoma, and we're here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, just a stone's throw away, and we're ready to get it on.
And another thing that I know you're extremely proud of is you started wrestling when you were 3 years old. And so it was quite a shock when you walked in high school that very first time and you found out the high school that you were attending did not have a wrestling program. What did you do to change that?
Well, honestly, not only was I in shock, I've never heard of that before. Luckily, though, they did have a wrestling team 6 years prior to me being there. So I looked up the previous coach on that, and we ended up signing the petition, getting everybody involved, and we just wrestled on tile floors just like, I guess, real men. And we didn't care. It's not, all my life, it's not the size of the gym, it's not the size of the mat, it's not the size of the area, it's the amount of heart you have and how much dedication you put in on that.
And you've actually owned 2 local MMA gyms, which sadly, had to be closed for financial difficulties. But how was that?
It was just basic math on that one. We had no real finances for marketing. It was Choctaw MMA, the Academy of Martial Science, and then we had the Death or Glory Mixed Martial Arts, which, I still own the name, so, we could possibly open up again if we can just get more people in there. But, basic math, you got your overhead needs to be less than your income, and that's just what happened.
Yeah, and going back to your high school days, something that I found pretty significant is you actually had the opportunity at one point to try out for the United States Olympic team. How did that feel?
I was very excited. It was a real fun time to get to train for that. I trained with Sensei Steve Robinson out of Tennessee, former world karate champion as well. We went through a lot of point sparring tournaments and things like that as well. I love doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling at the same time, so I was very much into athletics as well. And it was a great motivation to keep your grades up, kids. Keep your grades up, and always try to make myself a better person, both inside on the mat, inside school, in life in general, and try to become a leader in my community.
And actually, when you tried out for the U.S. Olympic team, the guy that you fought, didn't he go on and end up winning gold at the Olympics?
It wasn't the Olympics, but it was one of those team trials that they had afterward. It was in 2002 when he did that, and it was all right. He messed up my knee pretty good, but I'm real proud that our team got to go win gold in Austria. It was amazing.
You've had quite a few professional fights. What's your most memorable moment from those?
My most memorable, I've got several. I just absolutely love fighting. Everybody I've ever fought was an honor. But I think my most memorable one would probably be my only win. I fought a guy named Ronnie Stackhouse from Shawnee, Oklahoma, and he's a beast of a man. And if you ever got a chance to train with him, on the mat, he will annihilate you. He hits like a donkey hitting you, like kicking you or something like that. And we ended up fighting in Alexandria, Louisiana. And most people were counting me out because, look at me. I'm just a big dude, and I'm really not looking in shape. And he looked like probably Sheamus from WWE, just a big jacked up dude. And he came out doing a Van Damme style kick, and everybody's just cheering. Yeah, go that guy. I come out, your country boy can't survive. And they're just like, oh yeah, here's this redneck dude, thinking he could fight. We end up hitting each other at the same time. We both fall down. I fall on my butt, and he is completely toppled over. And I get up, and I didn't realize he was unconscious. And ended up hitting him one more time, and the referee stopped it. And I was in shock. Everybody else was in shock, and I'm like, holy crap, here we did it again.
Well, glad you got to win that one, and hope for the best for this upcoming fight for you. Good luck, and I will see you Saturday.
It'll be a pleasure. Thank you very much. Be there.
All right, everybody, I'm here with Kendrick Sloba, and he is fighting Chad Box at Rage in the Cage 26. Kendrick, do you know much about Chad?
No, just from what I've seen, just like a street fighter from what I've seen, but I don't know. I haven't really looked that much.
What is your fighting style, Kendrick? Are you more of a ground guy, or do you like to stand up, or?
Kind of everything. I'm really not one. I started off as a wrestler before I can actually fight. So the only reason I took up boxing is to prove to people that I can fight with my hands too instead of grabbing them. So it's basically all around fighter. I like doing everything. I like going to the ground, like standing up. I like fighting in midair.
Multi-dimensional. So what is your strategy going in? And, I'm not expecting you to give out your game plan here, but do you have a strategy?
No, it's just to keep a clear mind. Usually when I keep a clear mind during the fight, certain things come up as long as my mind is clear. And I just basically my eyes is closed till I'm in the cage, then I open my eyes.
What's your AMI record so far?
2-3.
Okay, so you want another win to even that up, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah. As soon as I figure out how to drop weight and still keep my energy, I really ain't figured it out yet. But as soon as I master that, then I'll be well off.
I know you're training right now with On Off Fight Crew. How's that going?
Good. Some excellent guys that I met during the Matt Grice fundraiser. I seen them fight. They watched me fight, and then we ended up talking on Facebook, and I ended up going practicing them with them, and it's been a wrap since then.
What's one of your most memorable MMA moments?
Fighting at Remington, I jumped up in the air. I did a 360 in the air, kicked the guy in the face. That was, I think it was like 6'3" or 6'2". So it was real something. I don't know if I could do it again, but I don't know if it's my drilling or what, but it was a real happy moment for me.
Did you win that fight?
No, I ended up losing, but yeah.
It's amazing that sometimes your most memorable moments are actually in the fights that you lose. Yeah. So, well, good for you. What about long-term, Kendrick? What are you looking for long-term when it comes to MMA?
Basically, I'm just seeing if I can build my body up so I could be the best in the world. So if not, then I'll just give it up. But until then I'll be on this dream I'm chasing.
Well, it's quite a dream. Thank you so much for your interview. Good luck this Saturday. I'm so excited. I've really enjoyed getting to know you and just really excited about seeing where your career takes you. Thank you, Kendrick.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here tonight with Kelvin Simpson, and he's fighting William Carty. And this is your debut fight. How do you feel about it, Kelvin?
I feel great. I'm ready to fight.
All right, man, a few words there. What is your fighting background? What training have you had? Did you wrestle in high school? Tell us a little bit about that.
I don't know, just got into a bunch of fights as a kid and couldn't seem to stay out of fights. So I just started training, teaching myself how to box, and I went to a boot camp and got in real good shape. And I learned from the boot camp that I can do anything I put my mind to. And so I was getting all these fights, and I just figured might as well have some fun at it and get a good experience instead of getting in trouble all the time.
So you're using it for good now. I hear you train with the man, Arturo, at Espinosa Gym. How's that going?
It's going great. Arturo's taught me everything I know, and he's the reason why I'm here. And we've been waiting for training for this fight for a long time, for about 3 years now. So I'm really, 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 really anxious to get in there and fight, finally.
Saturday can't come fast enough, it seems, for you.
No, it can't. I'm really anxious.
And you don't even know the guy that you're fighting. You don't know much about his background or anything. Does that make you nervous, or does that just give you some more fuel?
It's kind of exciting because it's like playing the lottery or something, you know. I don't know if he's going to be in really good shape or if he's going to be some slouch. But you know, I'm hoping for a slouch, to be honest with you. But you know, I mean, I'm just playing the lottery with that one, and so it's kind of exciting. But either way, you know, if it's a big, I fought big and scary guys before, so I'm just ready to fight Saturday.
Tell me a little bit about you, because I've not met you before tonight. Do you have a family? What's a little bit about you?
Well, my name is Kelvin Simpson, and I'm fighting out of El Reno, Oklahoma, representing Team Espinosa. And I'm 25 years old. I have no family. I'm single, and I just work. And I work 80 hours a week, and I'm just trying to be the best man I could possibly be without getting any trouble. And if I can knock a few people out in the cage on the way to doing that, then that's what I want to get out of life.
All right. What about long-term? Do you see MMA as being something long-term for you?
Yeah, I think I'll do it until I die. You know, I want to be I think that martial arts is a way to master your mind and your body. And you can master your mind, your body, your spirit, get it all connected, and then you master life. And then, you know, I'll do it until I die. So it's a way of life for me.
Well, I'm sure you're glad this interview is over, because that just gets you that much closer to that fight on Saturday. Thank you so much for the interview. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to watching your career, and good luck on your debut fight.
Thank you very much. This is my first interview. Almost famous.
There you go. Glad I could be his first. All right, I'm here with James Sizemore, and you're fighting Tyler Cravens out of Shawnee.
Yes.
And how do you feel about this fight?
It's just another day at the office for me. I mean, this is what I've done my whole life with wrestling and jiu-jitsu and stuff, so I shouldn't have a problem with anybody.
You had quite the accomplishments when it came to wrestling in your background. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I got a few state titles in high school, junior high. I was a national champion, cadet national champion, junior college national champion. I bet my wrestling skills are probably not equal to anybody, especially right now, so I think I can handle just about anything.
You know, you are weighing in about 205, but you're fighting somebody that's more of a heavyweight, so does that make you nervous?
No, it's actually more of a challenge because my wife says that I need to go toe-to-toe with somebody. She don't want to see a 10-second fight, she told me, so she wants to see if I can stand in front of somebody and take some punches. She said putting all this money for me to train and everything, at least I better take a beating for a little while.
Speaking of money and training, what is your training background right now?
Well, right now, actually, I just got back into it, so I've only been doing about a month and a half worth of training. I've been hitting weights and treadmills and running pretty heavy. I've only been rolling around for about 2 weeks at the high school, but Putnam City High School with the wrestlers up there, so.
Future for you, what does the future look like as far as MMA?
Well, we'll have to see after this first fight. Hopefully I can turn pro in the next 5 to 6 months and actually be down to about 185.
So this is your debut fight as an amateur MMA.
Yes, it is. I've done a lot of other stuff, like the tough man contest, stuff like that, but this will be the first time I actually get to grapple and actually do what I'm good at.
Any nerves at all going in for your first fight?
I got more nerves doing this than I do getting in a ring with anybody.
Sometimes it's the hardest part for people is standing up in front of this microphone.
Yeah, I'm actually shaking. Yeah. So we'll get it done.
What about, do you have any memorable moments as far as your fighting and what fighting you've done so far as wrestling or grappling or judo?
Well, actually, the wrestling has probably been the best for me in junior college, winning that first national titles at junior college. That was pretty tough. I had to pull a lot of weight to do that. In high school, I didn't have to actually pull weight. I was undefeated, and I didn't have to actually work out either. Got to college, and I got my butt handed to me the first 2 months and finally decided I had to pull 30 pounds. But I got my first national title in, and after that, it was all golden.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing your debut here this coming Saturday, and good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, I'm here with Arturo Espinoza. And, Arturo, I've been looking forward to the moment when I was able to get you here for an interview, and you just happened to show up tonight. And so you're in the hot seat. But I did want to ask you, I know that you've been around. Rage in the Cage has been here for about 14 years. And you've been here from the beginning, and you were one of the first fighters on one of our first cards. So how does that feel to know that you were there at the very beginning?
It feels great. Just seeing the evolution, the fighters, the skill level, the professional quality of the fights. It's gone through the roof. When I fought, and I'm real appreciative. I'm not down talking them, but it was more of it looked kind of like a bar fight. We were in the back of a bar, and people were jumping over the fences to watch for free. And it's come a long way. And I had a great experience in my first pro fight for Rage in the Cage, and I think my fighters, they're going to continue that tradition with Team Espinoza, and we're just here to win and showcase our talents, basically.
So you knew Mike from the very beginning.
Yeah, Mike's a good guy. Yeah, he's a great promoter. He's a great person. He looks out for his fighters. We're all here for the same reason, We're not trying to get rich. We're all trying to make a name for ourselves. He's a great promoter. He's a great person. He's given everybody a solid shot to make something of themselves. A lot of us in here are all street guys. A lot of us didn't win, NCAA championships. We didn't come from, extensive karate backgrounds. But we're all here as fighters. And Rage in the Cage showcases the actual fighter better than anybody in Oklahoma. I know that for a fact. I've been to over 100 shows, maybe 200. And Rage in the Cage brings it every single time. It's the best show in Oklahoma, in my opinion. And I'm proud to be a part of it.
Well, I am so proud that I've been a part of it in just a short amount of time. So I know that you have to take great honor that you've been around all these years. But I hear you might be fighting for Rage in the Cage again yourself.
Yeah, I'm planning a comeback, hopefully May 9th. Nothing's set in stone yet, but I'm more than ready. I'm beyond ready. I've been doing the family thing. I have 4 kids, and I haven't lost a step. If everybody forgot about me, it's on them because I haven't lost a step. I've been training. I have a gym at home. I never miss a step. I'm the same guy I was, plus some. Now I'm ready to destroy. I'm ready to come back lighter, faster, stronger than ever, older than ever, and just ready to smash guys that are too small for me. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to come out there and showcase what I've been doing and represent for my team because they've been representing for me. Thank you guys for doing that for me. When I was idle and I wasn't fighting, these guys kept my name alive. People didn't know who I was. Now they're going to remember. I'm bringing back this name. And we're coming out May 9th, hopefully, and we're going to showcase our talents once again for Team Espinoza.
All right. Well, I am certainly looking forward to it. So glad you showed up tonight, and I was able to get this just impromptu interview from you. And look forward to everything we have in the future from you.
Thank you. It was an honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Mike with the Rage in the Cage, and like a bunch of these guys said, with these guys are all a bunch of fighters, including myself. I grew up. A lot of people don't know my background, but I fought for a living. Somebody would say something, I'd knock their head off. But I turned my rage into Rage in the Cage. We got a bunch of good fighters. Art was one of the first guys that fought for me out of Paradise City, outside like you said, outside in the background. Lamont Stafford fought 20 guys in a tough man, knocked everyone out, won a tough man competition. Kendrick, I met him at Paradise City. He was a little tough guy, getting in fights and blah, 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 blah. I said, Kendrick, let's get you in the ring. Let's tool you. If you really want to fight, you're not getting paid to fight in a bar club or anything like that. Let's get you out here. We've come a long way. All these fighters, Lamont Stafford, D. Birchfield, I thank God for them too, because if I'm a promoter and I do a lot of stuff, but if it wasn't for the fighters that had this fuel and fire, Rage in the Cage wouldn't be here. So it's a teamwork effort, and I'm glad that I have a good bunch of guys with me. Be there, Rage in the Cage, Chameleon Room, 3034 North Portland. We are coming at you live, baby.
Thank you so much for joining us for our pre-fight interviews for Rage in the Cage 26. Remember, join us. It's this coming Saturday, March 22nd at the Chameleon Room, 3034 North Portland. Be there.